Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Trendy Spotlight 5. Uhtred saves England one last time. One fitting and highly likely ending for Seven Kings Must Die would be for Uhtred to once again save England from invasion. The famous Battle of Brunanburh is widely expected to be the climax of the Last Kingdom sequel film, and if it follows Cornwell's final novel, Warlord, Uhtred will once again be the mind behind a Saxon victory. The Battle of Brunanburh is widely considered one of the most critical events in the history of medieval Britain, and Uhtred leading the Saxon army to victory could be his most important contribution to England yet. After all the times Uhtred led Alfred or Edward to victory, such as in the Battle of Edington or the Battle of Tettenhall, it would feel right for Uhtred to lead the Saxons to victory one final time. Uhtred's tactical ability in battle made him such a force in the Last Kingdom, and his contributions to the Saxon military efforts often kept his head on his shoulders. Uhtred and Aethelstan are poised to clash in some way in Seven Kings Must Die, so it's likely he saves his kin with the skill of his sword one final time. 4. Uhtred lives happily as both Saxon and Dane. Uhtred's struggle with his identity has been one of the central themes of his character throughout the Last Kingdom. As a man of Saxon blood raised from a young age by Danes, he has to decide which he wants to be. Culturally and religiously, Uhtred has always remained a Dane. However, his actions have often served to defend the Saxons from the Danes. Uhtred never wanted to leave the Danes, but circumstances forced him to join Alfred after Ragnar the Elder was killed, and after living among the Saxons, it became difficult for him to turn against them. It would feel a disservice to the show and Uhtred's character if this internal conflict is not resolved in Seven Kings Must Die. Uhtred should embrace both his Saxon blood and Dane upbringing and realize that he represents the New England. After the arrival of the Danes, England was bound to become a multicultural nation, and people like Uhtred with ties to both groups were critical to forging peace between them. That is the beauty of Cornwell's character, and it would be a shame if the upcoming film did not take this point to its conclusion. Number 3. Aethelstan unifies England. The unification of England has always been the raison d'etre for the Saxon tales and the Last Kingdom. The purpose of Uhtred's character is to provide a lens to follow the spirit of history, and his character has gone above and beyond. Still, England has not yet been united in the Last Kingdom, so this is perhaps the most important thing Seven Kings Must Die needs to do. Aethelstan is the real king who unified England, and his purpose in the series is to do just that. It is difficult to conceive a version of Seven Kings Must Die in which this does not happen. 2. Uhtred marries Edith. Uhtred has had several lives and romantic interests in the Last Kingdom, but none have yet worked out for him. In Cornwell's novels, Uhtred marries Edith, and she becomes the Lady of Bebbanburg for a time before she dies of the plague. Uhtred has one more final love interest after this point. However, it is unlikely that Seven Kings Must Die will introduce an entirely new character for this purpose. There's too much else that needs to happen to the movie to take the time to properly set up a brand new character as a love interest to Uhtred. With that in mind, Edith is likely chosen to be Uhtred's final wife because she is already a well-established character with a history with Uhtred. A marriage between Uhtred and Edith could be a happy ending for Uhtred, and a romance between them was foreshadowed in The Last Kingdom Season 5. After all the heartbreak he has suffered, it would be comforting for him to find some happiness with Edith at the end of his story. Number 1. Aethelstan records Uhtred's place in history. Uhtred's first conversation with Alfred in the Last Kingdom takes place in Alfred's library, and the two often talk about how history will remember them. When the two of them are in conflict, Alfred tells Uhtred he will never be remembered by anyone, and that his name will be forgotten when he dies. Uhtred is obviously upset by that notion, knowing full well that Alfred would have been long dead without him. Uhtred knows that he has played a larger role than most in protecting Saxon kingdoms, and it would be singularly unjust for his name to be left out of the histories. While Alfred does promise Uhtred a place in the histories just before his death, nobody could know the full extent of his accomplishments unless Athelstan orders them to be written. The Battle of Brunibirth in Seven Kings Must Die is poised to be Uhtred's greatest victory, and it would be a shame for his role in it to be forgotten. It would only be fitting for the film to conclude with Athelstan recording Uhtred's accomplishments for future generations to learn from. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.